हेलो एवरीवन। इस वीडियो में हम एक क्वेश्चन देखेंगे ऑन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ मास स्पेक्ट्रोमीटर. So in the figure below, a simplified scheme of a mass spectrometer is given. It is a device for measuring the masses of molecules. The substance under investigation is ionized by heating up a heating temperature T on a hot filament. The ions are accelerated using a voltage capital V. So वो फिलामेंट और एक्सलेटिंग वोल्टेज वो सब इस बॉक्स के अंदर प्रेजेंट है यहाँ पर, जो शो नहीं कर रखा है आपको डायग्राम में. So after heating and accelerating the ions by a potential V, the ions move out and enter in this region of magnetic field. So the narrow beam of accelerated ions having charge E, so charge on the ions is plus E, it enters a region with magnetic field which is perpendicular to the screen. Assume that the magnetic field is homogeneous and has a value of B. The magnetic fields deflect the ions, and depending on their masses they may hit the detector. So you can see there is a small detector over here, and this ions when deflected by the magnetic field can reach this detector. So let us assume that those ions which hit the center of the detector enter and exit the region with magnetic field perpendicularly with its boundary. So there is, you can see that this is a square boundary of a magnetic field. So while entering the magnetic field region, the velocity of these ions is perpendicular to this boundary, and when leaving this magnetic field region, the velocity is again perpendicular to this boundary, and the distance between the entry and exit points is capital L. So this distance you can see over here, this distance is capital L. So the first part of the question says that neglecting the thermal energy of the ions, so kT is much less than EV, so we do not need to consider the thermal energy of ions in this case. So E is the elementary charge and K is the Boltzmann constant. The mass of the ions which hit the center of the detector is given as, you need to find the mass of the ions which will hit the center of the detector. Now second part says, suppose the entrance to the detector is a circle of radius small r, where small r is much less than capital L. Now because of the finite size of the detector entrance, ions within a mass range of m minus delta m to m plus delta m can enter the detector. So what will be the value of this delta m? So in this second part also you need to neglect the thermal energy of the ions. In the last part it is said that now you can neglect the radius of this entrance of the detector. So in this question neglect small r, and now if we consider the thermal energy of the ions, the detector can be hit by ions of different masses within the range m minus delta m to m plus delta m. So in this case what will be the value of delta m? So आप इस वीडियो को पॉज कर कर एक बार ट्राई करिए इस क्वेश्चन को, एंड देन यू कैन कम बैक फॉर द सॉल्यूशन पार्ट. Okay, so let us move on and let us see how we can approach this question. So यहाँ पर देखिए, जब ये आयंस एंटर कर रहा है, let us say that the ions enter with a speed v. ठीक है. So हम यहाँ पे बोल सकते हैं कि first part we are neglecting the thermal energy. So the energy gained due to the accelerating voltage v can be given as E into v, and this energy will appear as the kinetic energy of the ions, which is half mv square. So m is the mass of the ions. So this is our first equation. And when they enter the region of magnetic field, you can see that from a v cross b, let us suppose the magnetic field is out of the screen, only then it will be deflected in the downward direction. But we know that the magnetic force is perpendicular to the velocity. So when it enters in this region of magnetic field, the force acting on this particle will be in this downward direction. Okay, so this particle is moving in a homogeneous, in a uniform magnetic field. So definitely we can say that the path of the particle is going to be a portion of a circle or a arc of a circle. So the force that is acting on this particle, we know that this force acts towards the center of that circle. So okay, so if I extend this line, the direction of force, and also when the particle is leaving this region of magnetic field, it will leave with the speed v, because magnetic force does not change the speed of the particle. So it will be leaving this region with a speed v. So just before leaving, you can see that the force is in this left direction. So if you extend these two lines, okay, along which the force is acting, the point of intersection will give you the center of the arc on which this particle must be moving. Okay, so this so let us draw this arc. So this will be some kind of a arc on which the particle will be moving. In fact, this is 1/4 of a circle. So let us suppose the radius of this arc is r. So I can write the value of r is equal to m into v divided by charge on the particle into magnetic field v. So magnetic field b. So this is a very standard expression for the radius. You can just equate this force equal to mass into centripetal acceleration of the particle. You will get this expression for the radius. So we need to find the value of m, mass of the particle, for which it can hit this center of the detector. So from this diagram also you can see that value of r root 2, this is equal to L. Okay, so if I use this expression, the value of r is mv by e into b into root 2. This is equal to L. So let us square this expression. I'll get m square v square divided by e square into b square into 2. This is equal to L square. So from equation 1, I am replacing the value of mv square over here. So this m square you can write 1 m divided by e square into b square, and one factor of 2 is there, and the rest of the term mv square I can write it as 2 times of e into v. This will be equal to L square. So from here you can write the value of m. This will be e square. So one e gets cancelled out. So you will be left with e times of b square L square divided by 4v. So this must be the mass of the particle which will hit the center of the detector. So you can see that this option A is correct. Now in the second part, it is said that suppose this detector has a entrance which is a circle of radius small r. So you can see that if for this second part I can say that if the radius of this arc, okay, if this radius of this arc can vary from a plus minus of small r, right? If this radius of the arc is capital R minus small r, then it will hit this left entrance, just it will hit this left point. And if the radius of this arc is capital R plus small r, then it will hit this right point at the entrance of the detector. So I can say that we can get a value of delta r, I can say it is equal to small r. So there can be a small error in the measurement of capital delta r, or sorry, capital R, and that delta r, we can say that the small change in the radius, allowed value of change in the radius for which this particle enter the detector, can be given as small r. So from here we can approach, we can calculate this value of delta m. So you see that the value of capital R, we know that the value of capital R is mv divided by e into b. Or if I square this expression, I can write this as r square equal to m square, I'm writing as m into mv square divided by e square into b square. Now again this value of mv square I can replace from the actual equation number 1, which is mv square is 2 times of e into v. So from here I can write r square will be equal to 2ev divided by e square into b square times of m. So here you can see that this capital R square is in the terms in this bracket. This is a constant term. This is not varying, right? So if I differentiate this expression, I'll get 2r times of delta r equal to 2v divided by e times of b square into delta m. Now you divide this expression by r square. If you divide this expression by r square, you will get 2 times of delta r by r. This will be equal to delta m by m. So this is a simple mathematics. You can divide this expression by r square, you will find this expression. So from here I can say that the value of delta m is 2m by r times of delta r. Now we know that the value of delta r, what is the value of delta r? Delta r is just equal to small r, right? So this is the question that has been asked. Now it is over. So you can see that this is 2 divided 2 times of mass small m. Mass we have calculated the value of small m in the first part. This is e times of b square L square by 4v into small r divided by capital R. What can I write this expression for capital R? You know that capital R into root 2 is equal to L. So I can write the value of capital R as L by root 2. So I'm writing this as L by root 2 over here. Okay, so from here you can see that we'll get the value of delta m as b square. One L gets cancelled out. L times of r into e divided by, this will be root 2 times of capital V. So this must be the value of delta m. So from here you can see that this is expression in option C. So this must be the answer for this part. And in the last part of the question, it is said that you need to consider the thermal energy of the ions in this part. So you see, when we are accelerating these ions, apart from the accelerating energy, accelerating potential V, now we also need to calculate the thermal energy. So what will be the total energy of the ions? It will be E into V plus K into T. Okay, this will be the total energy of the ions. So you can write this expression as E times of V plus KT by E. So if you look at this expression carefully, now I can say that the accelerating voltage, okay, the accelerating voltage, there is a change in the accelerating voltage by kt by e. Just compare this term, you can see that this total term is some effective accelerating voltage. So there is some change in the accelerating voltage, which is kt by e. By this amount the accelerating voltage has been changed, right? So we know the value of delta v now. So from here what can we see? Now you know that the value of mass that we calculated in the first expression, okay, the value of mass we calculated as b square L square E divided by 4V. This was the expression we calculated in the first part. So from here, if you differentiate this, so delta M will be equal to B square L square E divided by 4 times of 1 by V square times of delta V. Right. So I'm just using the magnitude over here. So this is our expression. So if you calculate delta M by M, so divide this expression by M. So you can see that we will be left with this b square L square E divided by 4, this term gets cancelled out, we'll be left with delta V by V. Okay, so this will be the value of, this will be the relation between delta M and the change in the applied voltage delta V. So we need to find the value of delta M from here. So you can directly say that delta M will be equal to M divided by V times of delta V. So M, what is the value of M? So again from expression 1 that we calculated in the first part, I can write this as V square L square E divided by 4V into V, and delta V is simply KT divided by E. So this E part gets cancelled out. So you can see that we are left with a B square L square K times of T divided by 4V square. So this must be the value of delta M. So b square L square KT by 4 b square. So B part, this option must be the correct option.